librarians as the threat to our kids and defunding public libraries. That's the real world here today in Republican-led Missouri.
That is Democratic State Representative Peter Meredith. Dystopian future. Democrat calls out GOP lawmakers for voting to completely defund Missouri's 399 public libraries.
They actually took out all state aid for public libraries explicitly because librarians are suing over their First Amendment rights over a book ban. I feel like we're starting to live in a dystopian future from like 1984 or Fahrenheit 411 or whatever, 451, thank you, where we're talking about book bans from the government. And then the government being mad at librarians?
It's not the entire Missouri government that is mad, just Republicans. Unfortunately, Republicans control the Missouri House, Senate, and governor's office. This week, the Missouri House of Representatives voted for a state operating budget with a $0 line for public libraries. While the budget still needs to work its way through the Senate and the governor's office, state funding for public libraries is very much on the chopping block in Missouri. The cut amounts to $4.5 million. It was first proposed by House Republican Budget Chairman Cody Smith. Smith cited a lawsuit filed against Missouri by the American Civil Liberties Union. The ACLU is suing on behalf of the Missouri Association of School Librarians and the Missouri Library Association. They are trying to overturn a state law passed in 2022 that bans sexually explicit material from schools. The ACLU is working for the librarians free of charge, but that fact is lost on Republicans, including Budget Chair Smith, who argues, quote, the state should not subsidize the lawsuit by giving public libraries money. But again, the libraries are not spending a dime on the lawsuits. All of the money is coming from the ACLU. What the Missouri budget does subsidize is library operations. You know, things like putting books on the shelves, paying for building upkeep, maintenance, and safety. If the Republican budget cut does go through, some libraries in bigger cities would be able to stay open because they get funding from private donors, but a lot of libraries in more rural areas would have to close. Those rural libraries are more dependent on state funds, and ironically, many of those libraries are in heavily Republican districts. So by zeroing out the library budget, state Republican lawmakers would be mostly hurting their own GOP constituents. Now, I can already hear what many of you are saying, and I suppose there is an argument that Republicans are not exactly attracted to libraries to begin with. Knowledge, facts, and diverse points of view don't seem to be much of a GOP priority these days. Instead, the Republican focus is on banning books, throwing out the Constitution's First Amendment, and punishing librarians who want a judge or a court to weigh in. If Republicans don't like a legal challenge to their book ban, that's fine. But the way they should respond is by putting their energies into the book ban defense. Make your legal argument if there is one and fight it out in court. But across the United States, Republicans seem to be abandoning the rule of law and dumping any respect for justice. There's also, of course, the rampant hypocrisy. When the debate turns to mass shootings and potential bans on assault weapons, Republicans scream about the Second Amendment and claim guns don't kill people, people kill people. But somehow these same conservatives insist that books kill and demonize people, and the First Amendment is irrelevant, they say. Amazing. By the way, in Utah, a GOP book ban law appears to be backfiring on conservatives. Progressive parents are applying the law to get the Bible removed from schools. The parent requesting the Bible review included 49 pages of Bible verses that could be deemed inappropriate.
This has been very time-consuming. We have 15 committees that have been established for this purpose.
Check out that video at the link below. I'm David Shuster. Thanks for joining us.